Um, it's such a good thumbnail, though.
Mine or yours?
Yours. Just, you post it, I'm like, is she, like, pulling out, like, a giant assault rifle? What's happening?
Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Dave Lucia, and I'm here with...
Spencer, who has a huge project on his hands. Also, I included this horribly glitching compression screen on purpose.
Why?
Because, of course, it glitched out on the screen that told us who did the compression.
Yeah. Great job, guys. Yeah, so this is Tomb Raider. If you couldn't tell by the really low quality scan line FMV thing, CGI video we got going on.
Yeah. So this is the exact moment that the nuclear tests in like the southwest of the US doomed the world. Unrelated, here we are in Calcutta.
What's a man
Calcutta?
gotta do to get that kind
That
of
sounds
attention
familiar.
from you?
It's hard to
Sir.
say exactly, but
It's
you
almost
seem to
like
be
that
doing
showed
fine.
up in a different
Oh,
game we
great.
did.
It's fine, it's fine.
Though truth is, it ain't me
I've also
that
been
wants
there.
you.
Oh?
No, Miss Jacqueline Natla does from Natla Technologies. You know,
What is this voice
creator of
acting?
all things
It gets
bright and
worse.
beautiful.
Seal it, Larson.
Ma'am.
Oh, 1996.
Feast your eyes on this, Lara.
All
How
debt
does that
cash
make your
money.
wallet rumble?
I'm sorry. I only play for sport.
Then you'll like a big park. Peru. Vast mountain ranges to cover. Sheer walls
What a
of
nice
ice.
video you got
Rocky
there.
crags, savage winds. And there's this little trinket.
Love this blocky
an age-old
NATO
artifact of
laptop,
mystical
too.
I love it,
powers
it's
buried
great.
in the unfound tomb of Qualapec. That's my interest. You
I
could leave tomorrow. Are you busy tomorrow?
adore
Busy tomorrow.
how, like, in this one, there's no reason for her to do this other than it sounds like fun.
So here we are in Tomb Raider. Great. This is a heck of a game.
It is a game of which is heck. So here's the thing I'm going to complain about really fast. Every single cutscene that's this movie type thing, I had to minimize the window, record it with no visuals until it's over, and then reset the game to keep playing. A lot of editing went into this.
Use the direction keys to go into
I
the music room.
Man, Lara's torso is
A thing.
very, very thin. She got wide hips and like no upper body.
Press the jump button.
No upper body until
Now
she
press it again and
turns.
quickly press one of the directions, and I'll jump that way.
Okay, so real talk. Okay, one, I love Tomb Raider a lot. Tomb
So we
Raider
have a tutorial here.
This is a tutorial. Two,
Okay.
everyone makes a big deal about her boobs. Let's get it over with. But the thing is, the games never really talk about them. Ever.
I mean, no.
It's great. I think it's hilarious. Everyone's all up about them,
Oh,
but...
the main hall. Sorry about the
I-
crowds. I'm having some things put into
Honestly,
storage
I
and
think
the
that
delivery people
the-
haven't been yet.
Also, no subtitles, so that's good.
sorry, Chris done.
Yeah, it's an
Run
old
up to
game.
a crate,
What do
and
you-
while still pressing
All the
forward,
talking's in the
press
first
action,
video.
and I'll vault up onto it.
There's the Ark of the Covenant in the corner. Perfect.
I think the big thing about, like, Laura's breasts is more to do with the fact that, like, the developers actually decided to make her character model have a noticeable chest rather than being some, androgynous character design.
It was an accident. It was a stupid accident, and funny, but it was an accident. Originally, she had exactly 66% size breasts of this, but then Toby Gard tried to
This used
extend
be
her
the
hair
ballroom,
by
but I've converted
50%,
it into my own
but
personal
increased her
gym.
boobs by
What do you
50
think?
instead.
Well, let's do some exercises.
Uh,
And then
Yeah,
all
like,
that was
Don't
like, yeah,
actually
keep
run
it.
everywhere. When I
It's
want to
not
get tempo,
actually,
I
like-
walk. Hold down the walk button and walk to the white line.
I
With the walk
I
button
will
down,
say that
I won't
I
fall
don't
off, even
I don't
if
have.
you want to look around, press and hold the
Oh my
look
God.
button. Then
Just
press in the
ignore her.
direction you want to look.
Thank you. I don't have in-depth knowledge of every Tomb Raider game, but as far as I know, like,
I can grab the
Laura's
ledge and save myself
never
from a nasty fall.
in the games
Walk to the edge with
been
the white
like
line until I won't go any further.
very kind of
Then press
sexually
jump immediately,
active
followed
at
by
all.
forward.
Never.
And
Not
while I'm in
once.
the air, press and hold the
That's
action
like the least in the one, like the games never once even broached sexuality in any way until a bunch of
Yeah.
idiots tried to make
Press forward, and I'll
2013
climb up.
about her lesbianism, but whatever.
Well,
Pressing shift when climbing ledges does that. You're welcome.
oh. Well,
If I do a running jump, I can make a jump like that.
no, the bigger concern in
Walk to the
2013
edge
was
with the white line until I stop.
the
Then let go of walk.
the
and
fun
press backwards
controversy
to give me a
over Laura
forward
potentially
and almost
being
immediately
molested,
press
which
and hold the
wasn't
jump
what
button.
was actually happening
I won't
in the
actually jump
sequence,
until the last
but
minute.
Yeah, a feeling where that never was actually a thing. Whoops. As per standard, it's never a thing
Right,
ever
this
in the
is a
games.
really big one. So do a
No.
running jump exactly as before, except while I'm in the air, press and hold the action button to make me grab the ledge.
I'm not gonna lie,
Great.
in most of the games,
Nice.
the Croft Manor is like my favorite part. With the exception of this one.
I mean, like, I get
Oh,
some of the
yeah.
concerns people had about
Press forward.
Tomb Raider
and
2013
hold
because
action.
it did
I
seem
can't climb up because the gap is too small.
uh
But press right, and I'll shimmy sideways until there is
to
room. Then
really
press forward.
relish just like beating Laura up, but it's
Tap
it is a
jump
modern
off
action
backwards.
adventure game.
Immediately press and hold the action button, and I'll grab the ledge on the way down.
Honestly, I like all three incarnations of Lara, so this is probably
not
my
like-
least favorite, honestly, but I still like her.
I want
Let's go for
I
a
should actually
swim.
I should play the Uncharted games more
The
so
jump
that I
button and the directions
can
move me
actually
around
say if
underwater.
Nathan Drake gets beaten up as much as Lara Croft does.
Well, in these games, she gets beaten up not at all.
Well, yeah,
She's
obviously.
That's not true.
Ah,
Rarely gets beaten up.
Just use forward
I
She's kind of
obviously
hilarious
mean
in the first five.
to maneuver around on the surface.
I obviously mean the modern
Press
Tomb
jump
Raider
to
games,
dive
which are
down
like
for an
Uncharted.
option
Yeah, I guess.
Or go to the edge and press
Okay,
action to climb out.
When I said that there's like they never bring up her like boobs ever. Okay, there's this one time right here. Just wait for it.
You lied.
Wait for it.
Now I'd better take off these wet clothes.
Whoops.
Well, not gonna do that. This is a good Christian stream.
Yeah, this is definitely going to finally be the one that I can show to my church. Definitely.
Tomb Raider, the most wholesome Christian video game.
Obs. So we've made our
So
way
you're-
to Peru.
You're also you're recording this in some weird, awful, low resolution too, aren't you?
This is the game's res.
You know you can hack the game to support actual resolutions, right?
Not my game. This is the least stable thing I've ever recorded.
I don't understand it because it's not as much as I've played the first game, I haven't had any sort of technical issues.
Well, I got it done, okay? All the other ones will be in widescreen because I could hack them. Meanwhile, I just have
Wolves.
to enjoy the 96-ness of Oh, Hi Wolves. Yeah, speaking of 96, look at them wolves.
I love old school CGI.
Oh, that
Also,
blood
her-
spatter.
For the record, her chest is much larger in the cutscenes than it is in the game.
It's hilarious is what it is. Yeah.
Wouldn't she be really cold?
I mean, she had a poncho on before.
Just left that when she started climbing to the top of the door.
You don't have to deal with cold, mechanics until Tomb Raider 3, so just don't worry about it.
Here we go. So Tomb Raider. Yeah, as Spencer has said, he is a huge fan of these games.
I love them. They're
Um,
great. I even like the old ones. The ones that everyone's like, oh, these are really hard to play. I'm like, get on my level, scrub.
They're really hard to play.
Took a arrow right through the head there. Don't worry about it.
I've played a bunch of this game. I'm in like, well, I say a bunch. I'm in like level 10 or 11 or something.
Well, that's 2/3 of the way.
Yeah, which is more than I've played of any of the other games except Tomb Raider 2013.
Secret one. This will be a secret complete run.
I've found a bunch of the secrets, but I definitely haven't found all of them.
Yeah, the secrets aren't too hard to find, and then you get to the last 3 levels, and it's like, why?
But yeah, my initial stumbling block here playing this game, beyond the fact that I need to hack the control scheme because I hate the default control scheme. And then I need to remember what all the keys I set for controls are. Just like the actual movement system in this game is something you gotta wrap your head around, because it doesn't work like other games.
It's very predictable, and I will stand by that analysis.
Yeah.
Like, if you input A, B, C, D, you get E every time.
Yeah.
It's a bit awkward inputting A, B, C, D.
A bit awkward.
I'm used to it, so I don't find it that awkward.
You've been playing these games for 20 years. You aren't really representative of the average person.
Only like 18 years.
I will say, like, I've said it before, and I will say it again, like, here. Somehow, by some magical, I don't even know what, the control system of this game is better than the control system of Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness.
Oh, trust me, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
I don't... Because like you said, like, it is predictable. As awkward as I find controlling this game, like, once you know how the movement works, that's just how it works. Because we can see in all of the little graphical glitches that we're getting,
everything is cubes.
Yeah,
and all the cubes are the same.
Yeah, the entire game is structured by cubes and squares, and so everything has a very particular, like, distance, including Lara's jumping, which and even like the dive roll and stuff like that. If you read
the really I am gonna include my saves on screen. I'm sorry. If you read the really in-depth walkthroughs, like, they'll come down to, like, make a single walking step back and then do a diving roll forward. It's like they have it down to, like, the inch on how to safely make all these jumps.
It's just a shame that the actual control scheme itself is so clunky and awkward.
I guess it's not so cold after all. Look at all this green.
Yeah. Inside the temple, as it turns out.
Well,
bears.
There's a bear. Let's ignore it. Also, in the first game, it's harder to, like, do running jumps without stopping and, like, positioning yourself.
Yeah,
but in the newer games, like, from 3 onwards, for sure, it gets a lot easier to just, like, be like, okay, let's try running jump as you're running, and it'll work.
I discovered that running jumps were very difficult by missing practically every running jump I've ever tried to do in this game.
Again, you gotta stop. You gotta get it all ready, and then go for it, which makes a couple bits of the game. Yeah, there. I tried. It didn't work.
There we go. Yep. Me. All the time. Every time.
It makes a couple of the things in Greece so annoying, but, say la vie.
Also, my preferred combat strategy is jump around like a madwoman while firing indiscriminately.
Oh, trust me, it gets there. We'll get there. Yeah, get to the last 2 levels, and like your strat is literally just smash jump button, smash direction, hold down fire, pray to God.
Fortunately, the pistols have unlimited ammo, so
I never run out of ammo with the other guns that we get, except shotgun, which of course always runs out of ammo right when I don't need it to.
All the time.
I tried that. I tried to do the running jump without stopping.
So
should learn.
Yeah, so the reason that the jumping is so difficult to do, like running jump is difficult to do, is because the jump has a delay on it.
Yeah. If you're standing and you press jump, she'll jump, and then if you hit another direction as you're hitting jump, she'll jump in that direction. If she's moving, she will move 3/4 of a block before exiting the ground.
Yeah.
Which is on purpose. It gives her extra boost in distance for her jump, and shrinks how high she goes.
It's very unintuitive when you're used to jumping in modern games, though.
This is true.
Which I am. Like, I'm used to the gravity-defying jumps in Tomb Raider 2013, so...
And then there's this game where it's like, we can't defy gravity, it holds all of us.
To be fair, like, Laura got some ups.
Oh, okay, never mind, it's fine.
Oh, the wolf doesn't jump down after us?
No, they're not that good enough. You'll have to wait for the remake. Alright, so we're inside that hall that we couldn't get through before.
Cursed 1996 AI.
The AI here is
I will say,
hilarious.
I know that a lot of people are... a lot of people can't go back to old games.
Excuse me while it's fine. It's fine.
I thought you were good at this game.
Again, this was me getting fresh back into this, and this is the one that doesn't have the easy running jump mechanic. So I'm gonna eat dirt a couple times. It's gonna be funny.
I know a lot of people can't go back to old games because of the graphics, but I actually have like a huge amount of nostalgia for like this type of graphical style and like texture work and stuff.
Me too, thanks.
Because like I still love going back to Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, which was a first-person shooter from like 95 or something, maybe 98. Might have been I think the original was 95. And yeah, it's got the same sort of like. Obviously, it's different because it's Star Wars, but like the overall graphical style is like very similar, and like, yeah, I don't know. I love. First stage done, by the way.
We'll just move on because that was the tiniest stage.
Yeah, like
this is the stage I memorized because it was the demo stage.
Was it?
Yeah. This is the very first thing in the demos. You get attacked by 5 wolves.
Great. What a good introduction.
Didn't even give you controls.
Just like, figure it out.
And then you're like, okay, I survived the 5 wolves. And then just suddenly out of flippin' nowhere, you walk up here and then a bear. Bears do not mess around. They eat you.
Oh, yeah. That took off a lot of our health.
It's fine. We're good.
Time to use a small med pack.
See, again, predictable. Like, exactly half. Exactly whole. Respectively. Also, there are too many med packs in this game. Until the last level, then there's not enough.
There are a lot of med packs, but you know,
you need them.
I need them.
Well,
I don't know how much you need them, but I need them. That's for sure.
Well, I need them like crazy in the second last level, so...
So that means by the time I actually get there, I'm just gonna, like, get a game over.
You might not. So I love this. Like, this whole underwater section, everyone's like, oh, this must be important, right?
No.
No, it's literally 2 of the secrets in the stage. That's the only reason to come down here, is for secrets.
Great. Good.
You can just skip it, it's fine.
She does actually... I will say I was surprised by how, like, relatively well she controls swimming.
Yeah. It's better than the new ones.
Well, after I got used to the running around on land, I was like, oh man, swimming must be a huge pain. But, like, it actually works pretty well.
The first time I played the demo, I drowned because I didn't realize that you had to press jump to make her move. So I'm just hitting the arrows and she's just spinning in the water. I'm like, what?
Just floating there endlessly.
Yeah.
Not knowing what to do. Oh man. Was the seam tearing, like, did that happen back in the day too?
Oh yeah.
Or is that like it's not just a problem with modern computers or whatever?
Oh yeah, no, this is a huge problem with the engine. It's a cutting edge engine. Remember back when this engine was cutting edge?
I mean, I never played the Tomb Raider games when I was young, so no, not really.
This was like some awesome stuff.
I was not allowed to play Tomb Raider when I was a child.
Spoiler alert, neither was I.
How'd you get around that?
Finally Dad stopped like monitoring all my internet usage and I found DOSgames.com, so I played the demo when I was like 9. No, 8. And then I liked it, but I wanted to play it, but I couldn't because, you know, I gotta have to buy Tomb Raider.
You needed to find wares.com.
I was too ethical a child / dumb a child to wares.
I feel like dumb would probably be more relevant.
Whatever. Anyhow, finally, I was at Best Buy with my mom, and she's like, you know what? Yeah, you can buy a game. I'm like, yay! And I found Tomb Raider 3-4 double pack, and Mom's like, okay. Whatever. So, like, that's how I got Tomb Raider. So my first games were 3 and 4, actually. No key for that door.
I didn't actually know much about the Tomb Raider games. Like, obviously I knew they existed, but, like, no one in my family ever had them, and none of my friends ever had them, so, like, I never actually had direct exposure to any of them. Which meant that my first actual Tomb Raider game was just Tomb Raider 2013.
Nice. I mean, that's a decent entry. It's not representative of the old games, but it's a decent game, so.
Not even a little bit.
It's actually one of my favorite Tomb Raider. It's like in my top 4. It's like my 4th favorite.
You look at Tomb Raider 2013, and you look at this. Yeah, they're pretty different games.
Just a bit.
Just a tiny smidgen.
What I do enjoy about the new Tomb Raider, where they're like, oh, it's not the spirit of the original. I'm like, it has more tombs. One thing that struck me right away as a kid about the Tomb Raider games is there's not as many tombs as I was led to believe.
The whole point is that you're raiding this big tomb that just makes up all of the levels.
Yeah, but like, okay, we're in Peru right now, which has, spoiler alert, level 4 is an actual tomb. And
I mean, you could generously say that we're in a tomb right now.
This is supposed to be like a lost city. So I would call this a like Whereas I'm kind of expecting like single purpose tombs. This is like an incidental tomb. So
Tomb by association.
more of a crypt, if you will. So there's
I say it still counts.
yeah, okay, well then yeah, if you play it that way, then yeah, the game is fine and it's full of tombs. But just by single purpose tombs that I think of when I think Indiana Jones, there's like 2 in this whole game.
Do you have Indiana Jones style traps as well?
Of course you do. They get
Are-
only more absurdly Indiana Jones as the games go on.
Is there ever a point in the Tomb Raider games where you have to run away from a rolling ball as it chases you throughout the tomb?
No, you have to do it twice and in a row. Like you run away from the terrifying gigantic boulder, Indiana Jones style, and then you turn the corner as it rolls past, and then boom, here comes another one. Get going.
Wait, which game is that?
3. 3, and this is what I mean. Like 3 has an entire level, well, no, an entire section dedicated to not a tomb, but to raiding Area 51.
That doesn't sound like Tomb Raider.
It's in the first 5, the main 5 that the nostalgic weird people are all about.
That sounds like Area 51 Raider, not Tomb Raider.
I have bad news for you, bub. So yeah, we found this lost city, the city of Vilcabamba, which it's not very city-like. And
No.
It gets more absurd in the remake, where they call it the city, but it's very clearly like a tiny hamlet with like 4 buildings in it.
To be fair,
There are too many wolves.
if you have if you have the same sort of context for what makes up a quote unquote city as like I do, cities are pretty tiny.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's still like every single city that I've seen in like any video game is still like hilariously smaller than actual cities would be. But
Unless you have like the terrifying like open world games like Saints
I don't-
Row or GTA.
I
Those
wouldn't
are
even
almost
say-
real.
I
Almost.
wouldn't even say that they are though, like, because
I mean,
'cause
I'm
like
in a
the
city
thing-
of 1 million, and it's only like 15 kilometers across.
well, yeah, but like the thing is, like, the scale of a city in a Grand Theft Auto game is supposed to be around the size of like Los Angeles or San Diego, something like.
Well, then
the,
that doesn't work.
the big cities in California type of thing, and realistically, they're more like cities in Vermont, which have 50,000 people, which is still like, it's still sizable, but like it's not really a big city or anything. And then you consider, especially with Grand Theft Auto, a huge portion of the world map is actually dedicated to locations outside of the city proper. So the city itself is even smaller. It's just like, yeah, I know that it's a limitation of the technology and funding and everything, but I would like to see some games that have actual city-sized cities, because that's kind of one of the things that like frustrates me about city builder games too, is that the cities you can build inevitably end up way smaller than any realistic city would ever be.
Ah, well. So how do you appreciate that puzzle that we just did?
That was a puzzle?
That's my main issue with the early games, is that they're really limited in how to puzzle.
That was just platforming. I wouldn't really call that a puzzle.
But you had to know which tiles would break away when you stepped on them.
Putting the puzzle into puzzle platformer.
Welp. As it turns out, the early levels of Tomb Raider are not very hard to figure out. Better not let go there. Okay, this is fine.
I've died more than once by not carefully dropping off of ledges.
That's why you should always carefully drop off of ledges if you're not quite sure what's below. Like that.
Whoa! Oh god. That took off quite a bit of health.
Let's just fix that. It's fine.
Large medpack.
Medcalf.
Tasty medcaps.
Alright, this is hilarious and I love it, by the way. Alright, let's open the door. Bye.
Well, that's one way to get around the door, right?
There's like 4 switches in the game that do stuff like that. It's amazing. And there's a bear.
Why are there so many bears?
They eat all the explorers that come into these tombs.
That can't be a sustainable food source.
Well, I mean, clearly there are explorers coming, because where do we find all these med kits and bullets?
Moreover, does Peru have brown bears?
Good question. I am not going to open Wikipedia to find out.
I'm actually I'm legitimately kind of curious about that now. Because I have no clue if they have brown bears or not. I guess, it wouldn't be surprising, because I found out
That's the bear's weakness here. And every time it attacks me, it pushes me into water.
That's your weakness to the bear.
Well, it saves me from being mauled by a bear.
You still take a lot of damage, though.
That's fair. I don't have anything better than pistols right now. Gosh darn it.
I think I just shot him from the second floor or something.
I tried, but he wasn't coming out, so... Where the flip did he go? There he is.
Yeah, I found out, the other month that there are bears in, Middle Eastern countries where I was surprised because I thought that, bears wouldn't acclimate well to the climate there. But apparently they do.
Bears are just kind of everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I was really... I mean, there aren't a lot of bears. They're...
You'll see a lot of tech errors and player errors in this playthrough. They're all 1 second long, and they all come out of nowhere. Good luck.
Great. Good job.
I made a lot of mistakes, and then I didn't want to, I just decided to edit it out as cleanly as possible.
I mean, you could have just... whatever. Yeah. There are, unfortunately, very few bear species in the Middle East, though.
Aw.
Sad.
Bears are my spirit animal.
Bears are pretty cool. I mean, they're super dangerous, but they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
There we go.
Alright, we've made it through the city.
Second stage complete.
Second stage complete.
We did it!
All secrets collected so far.
Huzzah.